the movie landscape works, how it has its own, obviously, variables. Similar to advertising, when I came into it, you have assumptions or things you may know, and then you get under the hood and you learn. And so it is fun for me to have kind of a foot in both worlds. Obviously, we're much further along in the advertising space. You know, I think when I think about it, I don't think anybody in this room is confused. The distribution of creative is changing. And this has always been the thing that I've been most fascinated by, which is, why do we hold on to yesterday in the face of today's truth? You know, how could you possibly not understand the relationship between social and streaming? It's pretty obvious. We have literally have shows that have been created from a Twitter stream, from a Twitter, thread. We have unbelievable data that supports that when you market well in a social environment, it leads to tune in. And really, for the business people in the room, it's very clear that the way we're going to advertise on streaming service looks a lot more like social than it looks like buying an upfront, and so the biddable and things of that nature. And so, as I look around the room, especially what's enjoyable is there's so many young faces in here, and obviously some OGs as well, but for the young faces, they're not even gonna know a different world. And definitely, and I think for everyone that's in the room, no matter which gen you're in, our behaviors of consumption have changed radically. And so I think about it a lot, and this week always reminds me of how much opportunity there is, because I do think that this festival is very, very good at yesterday. I think we are overly romantic about the things we give awards to this week. I don't think they're consumer centric. I think they're industry centric. And the reason I say yes to a talk like this is I think this is the conversation that we need to be having as an industry. Otherwise, there's a lot of wasted money and a lot of disruption in our paths if we don't.
Yeah. I mean, we know we released a Stream report this spring, and it said that 45% of millennials and Gen Z, they find out what they want to watch on social.
This is, to your point,
Yeah.
This is why all these reports make me laugh.
It's got to be 90%.
45%, how else are they, what is Us Weekly telling them what to watch? It's fucking 2024. But nonetheless, but by the way, this is the other thing with generational things that, make me laugh. I just did an interview and they're like, what's it was very nerdy, deep social. They're like, what's the underrated platform? Similar to I do have a good career of the Musical.lys and all this other stuff, but I actually think, ironically, the underrated platform currently is Facebook proper. I don't think people realize how much attention sits on classic Facebook and how many upper millennials, boomers for sure, but here's one that would blow people away. This is probably, just to take a quick step back, the lack of practitionership in the industry is the opportunity. For me, what's been remarkable is between Wine Library and Wine Text, my family's wine retail business, between my Gary V brand, between all the other things I do, VeeFriends and things of that nature, I have to stay being a practitioner. So I know, not by a report or by a boardroom meeting, I know that Facebook works, and I know that we're converting Facebook users that are 25 to 35 from Facebook. And I also know that had I not been a practitioner, I would never believe what I'm saying. If there was somebody sitting right now and be like, no way, there's nobody 25 to 35 on Facebook.